This is Rici inside the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Lab, researching your betting angle of the day. Let's get started. How are we doing, everybody? Rici here for Who-Bangin Sports Talk with Before You Bet. We have the MLB playoffs, my favorite time of year. Love my MLB playoffs, and this is going to start off with a good one in Houston with the Chicago White Sox versus the Houston Astros. This is a series that, Houston Astros, we know how good they are. We know how the experience they have in the playoffs. They have, I believe, the manager advantage. I believe they have the pitching advantage top to bottom. And, maybe in some individual games that might not be the case. But overall, I like the Houston Astros. I think their series price at 125 is something to grab. I think it'll go up before Thursday's game, and that's the team I'm on. Let me give you a couple of reasons why. What I did was rank the teams through for the league. So the AL ranking, the 15 teams. I went through both teams, see where they rank, just to get a nice overall picture before I dove into the actual playoffs. And what I found out was, there's some, in some ways they're pretty even, these teams. In some ways it's not. What I did was go over the rankings for the pitching and for the team itself. So with the team, let's go. Astros were number one in at-bats. They were number one in runs. They were number one in hits. They were number 5 in home runs. They were 14th in stolen bases, second in getting caught at stealing bases, 4th in walks, 2nd in strikeouts, 1st in on-base percentage, 3rd in slugging, 2nd in OPS, where the White Sox were 4th in OPS, 6th in slugging, 2nd in on-base percentage, 8th in strikeouts, 2nd in walks, 11th in steals, 5th in caught steals. For some reason, I just like the correlation with those two stats. 11th out of the 15 in the AL in home runs, 14th in hits, 5th in runs, 12th in at-bats. Defensively, the White Sox were 12th in errors, ranked 12th out of the 15 teams in errors, and their fib percentage was 13. What I don't like about the White Sox is how they played this year. Overall, I thought they had a very easy schedule. They did have 93 wins, but they did come on strong at the end of the year. I believe they did go 6-1 the last 7. I think their last 10 games they maybe were 7-3 or 8-2. So they did come on strong where they weren't. And to be fair, Houston didn't play that great their last 10 games, to be fair. But the White Sox overall had an easy schedule. Like I said, they did not play well on the road. They did not play well against even winning. Against winning teams, they didn't play well at all, and against bad teams, they didn't play well. They kind of were streaky at parts. They put together some big streaks, which gave them those 93 wins. But I say they're suspect. I say this team does not get out of that round. Versus Houston. I think Houston overall has the better bats. I think they have the better pitchers. I think they got the better manager. So that's really how I feel. Let's go with some team stats just to see how why I feel that way. The Houston Astros in home, we know how they play at home, guys. We know how good they are. In home games this year, 51-30. Versus righties, they were 61-38. As a favorite of 125 to 175, they were 26-11. So they know how to win as a favorite. Thursday, they are pitching McCullough Jr., who I like. I think he's a good. I didn't see a pitcher listed for Chicago White Sox. I seen Giolito for Friday. Not sure why he's not pitching Thursday, but I did see him listed for Friday. I guess the matchup with the pitcher for Houston is why. What I also did was rank the pitches with the White Sox and Houston. For instance, the White Sox were ranked 3rd in wins. Houston was ranked 2nd. In losses, the White Sox were ranked 13th. Houston was ranked 14th. In ERA, White Sox 2nd, Houston 4th. In complete games, White Sox 1st, Houston 4th. In saves, White Sox 4th, Houston 12th. In saves at home, White Sox was 2nd. Inning pitched, White Sox were 14th. Walks, they were 5th. Earned runs, they were 1st. Home runs, they were 2nd. First in strikeouts, where Houston was 6th in strikeouts, 4th in home runs, 4th in earned runs, 11th in walks, 2nd in innings pitched, 9th in saves at home, 12th in saves overall, 4th in complete games, 4th in ERA, and I guess had 14th in losses, 2nd in wins. So that was the team pitching as an overall. Starters, pen, just an overall on where they ranked with the other teams. Now, again, they were based on the 15 AL teams, the rankings, and so that's where those numbers came from. A couple things that stood out to me, and like I mentioned before, Houston's home winning is they win at home, guys. We know they've been winning at home for years. They've been winning in the playoffs at home for years, and we know that. White Sox, not so much. Even though the White Sox did go 6-1 the last 7, they did win 4 out of the last 5 games they played against winning teams. So they were playing pretty good, like I said, which they didn't do really all year long. And they are 35-17 in game one of a series. But out of the last 131 game one series that Houston has played, historically, they are 93-38. So talk about a team that likes to win game one in series. Houston definitely has that advantage, even though both are good. As a home, let's get back to CWS. They are 15-36, last 51 as a dog, and that's what I don't like. 2-5 the last 7 in the playoffs. 15-40 as a road dog. 1-4 as a road dog in the playoffs. They're also 0-4. They're also head-to-head are 0-4 in Houston and 6-15 overall. Also, they are 1-4 the last 5 in the road playoff game, not only as a road dog, but both correlate. But they're 1-4 the last 5 road playoff game and road as a dog in road playoff games. 16-15 overall versus Houston, so they haven't really had much success overall against Houston. Houston 8-1 the last 9 division playoff home games, guys. 4-1 last 5 division overall. I told you about the game 1 of the series, 93-38. 39-18 last 57 as a home favorite. 39-18 last 57 as a home favorite. 152-74 their last 226 home games. All I can say to that is wow. So I did see a game 1. I did see a game 1 price on Houston at -135, but they didn't list the Chicago pitcher yet. So I did see McCullers Jr. pitch listed for Thursday's game. I did see for Friday game Giolito for the White Sox, but I didn't see a pitcher. So we can't really go over the odds. I need to know what the pitching is like for game 1. I mean, just without knowing the pitcher, I'm leaning game 1 with Houston. But the point of this little video is about the series, and that's Houston taking the series. I believe Houston is -125 in the series. I believe that will go up. Houston was 51-30 at home this year. The White Sox were 40-41 on the road this year. The Astros did have a run diff as +205, where the White Sox did have a +160 run diff. So both teams did well. Astros better. One thing I will tell you is, before I get to that, let me tell you that I do think Houston will advance. I do think Houston will make the World Series. I could see them playing Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay has an advantage over the Yankees, and I think they have an advantage over the Red Sox. That game is being played tonight as right after I'm doing this video, so we won't know the outcome of that game. But I did throw a parlay in with the Yankees -124 with the Rams on Thursday night -138. The parlay came out to +208 parlay for the two teams, which is in a great price for a 2-team parlay. But that's what I did, and I have a first 5 under in that Red Sox game time. So we'll see how that goes. But I just mentioned it just so you can see where I was at in that game. But yes, I like Houston. I see them marked as a -125 in the series, like I said. and I can see them playing Tampa Bay, and I can see Houston going all the way. I hate to go against the Giants. I'm not 100% sure, but I can see the Dodgers making a run right now, and I could see a Dodger Astro World Series, but that's not an official pick. Right now, the only official pick is the Houston Astros. One thing I can tell you about the playoffs and totals, which you guys know I play a lot of totals, mostly totals. I did play the Dodgers against the Cardinals, which is Wednesday's game, tomorrow's game. If you get to see this video before then, if not, you'll just, again, check to see where I was at. I did bet the first 5 along with my friend Noli Knowles at under 4. So we'll see how that goes. That's what I took for that one-game series. Hey, listen, as much as I like the Dodgers, anything can happen in one-game series, and the Cardinals are the team who has been very hot in the last 6 weeks, as we know. So, but they've cooled off. I think they really had to play that game Monday. I think this 3-4 day rest that they've had since going on that tear that they did go on. Matter of fact, the same tear that the Dodgers went on, but the Dodgers tear last 6 weeks. Their records are pretty close, but because the Cards were unexpected, it seems like it was such a great feat, and we expected it out of the Dodgers. But if you look at the numbers, they were pretty close. But, and again, anything could happen, and the Cards beating the big 220 minus 220 favorite of the Dodgers would be a real shocker. But overall, minus 200 favorites are hitting at a 73% clip in the last 33 playoff games, 23-10. If you have minus 200 or more, they have hit. So but again, take that with a grain of salt. 23 wins, 10 losses. But those 10 losses are more are 2 units, more than 2 units, depending on if you're betting win or risk. But still factor that in. So that 23-10 stat sounds so overwhelming, 73%. But is it that overwhelming? That's just another show, another topic about stats and why they don't mean as much as some stats don't mean as much as they should. Something that I'm very aware of, something that I look at very closely. So I'll talk to you about that more at another time. But another little quick stat I got to you for overall playoffs is in the total. 8 or under in the total in the playoffs now, and they have this marked historically, is hitting at a 54% rate to the under. 8 or under. When you see that half a point drop, that 9 to 8.5, and you still see that juice, because a lot of times you'll see the drop 8.5 to 8, 9, 8.5, but you'll see the over still juiced because I guess they're trying to offset the liability. But sometimes you do see that half a point drop in a total. And it works in football also, especially in college football. You see that total drop a half or a point, but they're still juicing the under. That means that sharp plays are dropping that under, and it could go even lower. So keep that in mind. 8 or under, 54% in the playoffs. But anyhow, guys, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Houston Astros to take care of these Chicago White Sox. I mean, I can see the White Sox maybe winning a game or two, but I don't see them doing too well against the Astros. Of course, listen, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen, but I just don't like the way the White Sox really played this year. I think they didn't do good against. They obviously didn't do good against winning teams, and they didn't do so great on the road against some teams that they should have beat up on. So, they did have some good winning streaks that got them to those 93 wins. But again, very easy schedule, and I think that comes back to bite them. So that's what I got for you guys. Houston Astros at home versus the Chicago White Sox should be a good series. Also, I'll get you a breakdown of the Braves Brewers, which starts Friday, which is going to be another good series. I have a lean right now towards the Brewers, but it's not a 100% official pick. But we'll get that out to you as quick as we can. But until then, let me get out of here. This is Dommy Gun Rici for Who-Bangin Sports Talk. I'm inside the banging lab, banging out some picks, banging out some theories, and trying to get us some wins. So that's what it's about. And as our friend Big Ragoo says, I will see you at the window. Good luck, guys.